Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Irene and I create videos about K-pop auditions every single week. Now, I've been live streaming a lot because I have a lot of time on my hands before school starts, and someone actually informed me that there was an update to the Hybe music group audition, which we will discuss later, but the whole topic of this video is indeed Hybe. I wanted to introduce you guys to the new Belift audition. It's a boy group audition and it's called the 2025 Belift Lab boy group audition on the way. So I wanted to go through the audition tutorial for that, and then later on after that we can go through the updates to the Hybe music group audition if you have not applied to it yet. If you have, there's really nothing much you can do. You're not going to edit the form, but let's get started with the audition tutorial now. So today we can just search up Belift Lab audition and then head on to their website right here, but you can also go through their Instagram. I just find that this is a bit easy. Obviously Belift Lab currently has an hyphen and eyelet under their label. Now, we are going to start and click on to apply, but it just says no matter where you're from or how you express yourself, that doesn't define you, because wherever you are right now, that's where your journey begins. I'm not gonna pretend like I understand that, I'm not gonna lie, but let's click on to apply. That's not what's important currently. They do have like that typical Hybe audition form format that you might be very familiar to if you've applied to Hybe labels before, but let's read the details about this audition. So the categories are vocal, rap, dancing, producing, and others. So the required items for each category, let's just go through them. For vocal, it's going to be a front-facing vocal performance video. For rap, it's the same exact thing. And then for dance, it's also pretty much the same thing, but it's full body. And then the producing category is any creative works, including lyric writing, composing, or instrument performance. Now, the thing about the producing category that I always tell people is you can't just get in through lyric writing, and that's just the reality of it. Do you know how many people are talented in lyric writing? A bunch. But not everyone can have the full package. So have a prepared song that you've written, composed, and produced yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect in terms of the mixing, but what they're looking for, again, similar to other auditions, is your potential. I can talk more about that if a lot of you guys are interested, but I think mainly you guys are interested in vocal, rap, and dancing, so I won't get into too much detail here. And then other category is any category that showcases your talents, such as acting, walking like, modeling, not just walking period, but posing. Front-facing and full-body photographs are mandatory for all applicants, regardless of application category, and please record all videos and photographs with a standard camera in clear resolution. They actually don't allow you to use any cameras or such, and submissions where the face is obscured by a mask, filter, or any other means will be excluded from evaluation. If you pass the first round online audition, no matter where you are, Belift Lab will come to you for the second round audition. Apply now. This is where your journey begins. So click on to apply. You do have to verify your email, so just click onto that. You'll get an email like this, and then click onto that, and then it just says the email engine verification is complete. And then you go back to your original tab and then select the audition, which is the boy group audition. It's also the only one that's open right now. So your name, your date of birth. Now, it actually didn't say before, which I don't know why, but there is an eligibility for age. So it's from 2007 to 2014. Okay, and then your country/region, your application category, you can pick from these, your front-facing profile photo, the performance category that you'll be doing, your gender, only males basically, school/job, your height, your weight, your phone number. Obviously your height and weight have to be in centimeters and kilograms, your place of residence, so just put your city and country, your SNS ID. I think you can actually you can only do one, but I recommend just doing one where it's almost like a portfolio and you showcase your vocals or dance, but otherwise just put like your actual Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or whatever. Your messenger, I always recommend doing KakaoTalk, special talents and relevant information, audition and trainee experience, so please provide details if you've passed an audition or have trainee experience, and then attach an image. It goes through details of what you should include, and then attach your media file. And you can also include a link, but there's really no point in that because you do have to attach a file and a link. It's like required for both. If you've attached a file and you don't have a link, you can just put NA because they already have your file, and then go through the consent and use of personal information form and submit your application right here. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that was a fairly simple audition, but now I want to go through the updates to the Hybe Music Group audition. Now there's only really one change to the form, and it's asking for your preferred label and then your second preferred label. They're asking about your priorities for which company you want to be most reviewed by or want to go into, and the options are Big Hit Music, Belift Lab, Source Music, Pledis Entertainment, KOZ Entertainment, Adore, YX Labels, and then Hybe with Ryan Tedder. So those are the options that you can pick from, and you have two choices basically. Now the reason why I wanted to talk about this specific change in this video is because there's a lot to consider. The first thing is, why is this even included in the form? And if you put those two companies, those two labels, are they the only ones that's going to view your audition? So the answer to that is no, they're not going to be the only two labels that watch your audition, but simply let's say you get accepted into 3 companies. They're going to be prioritizing that over, so all 3 companies are going to send you an email, is what I would assume. Obviously this isn't confirmed, but because this is an all labels kind of audition where they're sending your audition tape to all of the companies, this is kind of the way it would work, and they're trying to just organize how they would send out emails now that it's been a while since the audition's been out, right? Now the other part is which company you should actually put in here, which do you want to prioritize? I'm sure a lot of you guys don't really have strong preferences and just want to get into any Hybe label, right? Well, firstly, I recommend, now I don't want to make you watch another video, but I do recommend you watch these videos. It goes over all the Hybe labels except for YX Labels, and then Hybe/Ryan Tedder, because that one is not really a label in itself, and then YX Labels has been relatively new and not really related to K-pop. It's more so J-pop. So if you are Japanese or want to more so be in the J-pop industry, obviously go for that. But if you don't have any interest in going into J-pop and want to stick to K-pop, I would exclude that from your top choices, of course. The reason why I recommend you guys watch that video or the 2 videos is because it showcases what the online auditions are exactly looking for, so you can see if it aligns with you. Let's say you're a female that's applying to this audition. Obviously you can't put Big Hit as number 1 because Big Hit Entertainment, no matter how much you prefer them, is not looking for girl group trainees at the moment. They're only looking for guys, so if you're a girl, eliminate that. Kind of go through that kind of process. If you fit the age range, if you don't fit the exact thing that they're looking for, I would start to eliminate your choices from there. Other questions to consider, I kind of wrote down a list, so if I'm reading off of my phone, that is the reason why. But would you actually enjoy performing the kind of music they produce? And is their style of music up to your standards and also your preferences? Are they more so dance focused or vocal focused, or a mix of both? Do they tend to debut people quickly, or are there long training periods for their companies? Do they accept global members? And finally, do they treat their artists fairly? And the fans of the group that this label is under, are they pretty satisfied with how the company runs in all sorts of things, like marketing the group, the way they treat their trainees and idols, things like that? Oh, it keeps falling down. All of that you have to consider into your choices, and then you can pick 2 out of those companies, which I'm sure will be kind of difficult because there are quite a bit of choices that you can go through, but that's kind of how you would go about that. Hopefully this video helped you kind of downsize your choices and consider what kind of labels that you would put into these preferred label choices. And that's the end of the video. Good luck applying to Belift Lab for those who are, and good luck in general. Bye.